Gilbert, and like Reinhard said, I was a WWOOF volunteer last year. I'll tell you a little bit about my experience. It was last October, so it was during the apple harvest, and I went to a farm in Canton Thurgau, which is northeast of here, and it was apple harvest season, lots of work to do. It was a beautiful area. I haven't been up there. It was near the Bodensee, or Lake Constance, just right off the shores. Beautiful farmland, gently rolling hills, gorgeous area. And I stayed for 5 days, which is actually relatively short for a woofer, but very rewarding. I'm very glad I went. As far as, I was the only volunteer at that time, so it was me, the farmer, and his family, including his parents, 80-year-old parents, and 2 teenage sons, and his girlfriend who lived there. And we all worked together on the farm. Things I did, lots of different things. So the big one was picking apples and sorting them. And there was also dairy cows, so we tended to the dairy cows. I milked the cows once. That was enough for me. We cleaned out the barn daily when the cows went out. That was kind of smelly. What else? I helped in the kitchen, helped pile grass every day for the cows to eat, which was probably the most heavy-duty work that we did, because you have these huge, heavy rakes, and you're sort of piling this grass and moving it into the barn. But as far as like the intensity of the work, it wasn't too bad. I mean, I'm not like the most muscular person, so there were lots of breaks, and I never felt overworked, and there was lots of free time. Yeah.
So the work is volunteer, but the room and board is provided by the farm owner?
By the farmer. So he had extra room in his house.
Okay.
So I had my own room. There's different situations on different farms. Like some have like tents that you stay in during the summer, or maybe you might share a room with other volunteers. But it says in the brochure when you purchase it that what the sleeping arrangement is there. So a typical day on the farm, we would wake up pretty early. It was before sunrise, so maybe 6:30. Have a quick breakfast. And then go out and take the cows out of the barn and put them in the pasture, and then clean the barn out. Got a little squeegee in there, and we wore big rubber boots. You don't want to wear like your regular shoes in the barn. And then there was a break, and then we pile the grass. So the farmer, his name was Helmut, would mow, and there'd be these big lines of grass, and you just rake that up and get it in the barn. Then like another break, and then we'd bring the cows back in, then have lunch, and then the afternoon was the apple picking. And most of it was actually not really up in the trees picking apples, but there was a lot of apples on the ground, so he had this special machine that would almost like a lawnmower that went around and just sucked up the apples.
And maybe it was a tennis ball thing.
With a motor, it was quicker. But and then I actually spent most of the time in this big trailer with the farmer's 80-year-old father, and he'd pick out the bad apples and branches and all the stuff that got sucked up with apples. Some other things we did. Friday was cider making day, which was kind of fun to see. They had a cider press on the farm. Actually, it wasn't hard to So that was it. Oh, and then at the end of the day, milking the cows, and then dinner, and then you go to bed pretty early because it starts all over again. This is definitely, like Reinhard said, there's a definite schedule, and you have to sort of get in the rhythm. And it did take about a week. By the time I left, I felt like, I'm just kind of getting into the groove of it.
Were you an organic consumer before you went? Did you change your...
I think I'm even more so now. I really like the local farmers markets here, and I think organic produce tastes better, and it's when you're in the grocery store and you see the price difference, you're like, I don't always go for the organic, but on certain things that I think it makes a big difference. And now that I've been on that farm and sort of seen the way of life and talked to the farmer about his passion and why he does, I'll tell you a little bit more. It was a really unique farm. But anyway, he had a whole philosophy behind it, hearing his dedication, like, yeah, it makes me, I think, more aware, and I tend to buy more organic now. Yeah, so a little bit about his farm. So his name is Helmut, and the farm has been in his family for 4 generations, I think. But it wasn't always organic. He took it over from his father and implemented all the organic practices. And he specializes in rare varieties of apples, so he has something like 200 varieties of apples that he grows on his farm.
What is the length of stay usually? I mean, there was a little bit of talk about 1 week is too short because you've got to get to know, the routine, the job. But is it like up to 3 months or 2 months or what's...
You could go. The farmer that I stayed with said he's had volunteers for months. But you could also do, like some of the farms say a week, and we just say you could do a week.
But I mean, if you wanted to do more,
you could do it. And that's
up to
what they'd like. Up to however long they want you, like 3 months. In terms of what I got out of it, I'd say going back to your question, Carolyn, just learning more about organic farming. I was already sort of interested in it. I read a book about it, but so just to be there in person and experience it was really rewarding. And to be able to contribute my small bit to it was good. I'd say also, like Reinhard mentioned, just getting to know the farmer. He was a really cool guy, and he liked to joke and had all kinds of stories, and it was nice to make a connection with him, and we still stay in touch a little bit. We email here and there, and the other thing I got out of staying there was that I was able to write an article about it for Swiss News, so I wanted to read you a little excerpt from my story. I wrote this as sort of like a day in the life on this farm. So I'll just read you the very last part at the end of the day. We were in the barn milking the cows at the end of the day. So Helmut's the farmer, I didn't already mention. As Helmut shuttles buckets of warm, creamy milk into a side room, we hear a truck pull up next to the barn. Helmut peers out and starts to fret, saying something in German that I don't catch. I take a better look at the truck and notice it says Tier Transport on the side. Helmut ordered a new cow, and she's arrived sooner than expected. Helmut rushes out of the barn to greet the driver and leads the newcomer into the barn. The driver informs him she comes with a day-old calf. This is also unexpected. I peek in the truck and spot the little critter lying in a corner, blinking and shivering. After the new arrival is situated in the barn, Helmut leads out another cow out to the truck. She has stopped producing milk, Helmut explains. She's on her way to cow heaven. Then, as if on cue, the departing animal stands on the ramp and launches a stream of projectile dung straight at Helmut. He's hit, and the ramp is completely splattered too. It's a fitting farewell, I suppose, under the circumstances. Helmut curses the cow and has just about reached wit's end, but the new calf needs attention. It's dark now. I help prepare a bed of straw in a pen next to the barn. The calf can't walk yet, so Helmut and the driver awkwardly drag her into the pen. After the truck leaves, Helmut and I try to feed her, but she won't drink. He guesses this is her first feeding. She lies in the straw, blinking her big sad eyes, and finally takes a couple gulps. Helmut calls it a day. I walk back to the house, but he returns to the barn. His work, it seems, never ends.
Very good.